Thank you, Governor. Good morning.
Good morning.
What a great day to be here in Scottsboro. The weather broke and cooperated. The governor's office called me yesterday and said, don't know about that weather. It might be a little difficult getting up to Scottsboro on the plane, but we said our prayers, and we're so glad that he was able to join us today. I can't say enough good things about Sheila Washington. You may ask, well, who are you? What are you doing here? You're not from Scottsboro, Jackson County. Well, I'm from Decatur. And as you know your history, Decatur also had a role in these trials that happened many years ago. And thanks to the goodness of Sheila Washington and her team, they came to visit me some months ago and said, we want someone from Decatur to help handle this legislation because Decatur, along with Scottsboro, has a stake in this historical event. And so very honored that she approached me and we were able to get this going. You know, today is a great step in history, but it's a solemn day, but it's also a joyful day. Because our state is a different state than it was 80 years ago, than it was 50 years ago, 40 years ago. But we still have miles to go before we sleep, as the poet said. There's still things we've got to concentrate here on Alabama as other states across this country need to do. But we can learn from history. We can learn from this event and what we are doing here today and putting the final chapter, even though we'll continue to learn from this event, through what the governor is going to be able to sign through the pardoning and the exoneration of these 8 remaining young men. So this is a great step for us to take because we know what was said some years ago about injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And we need to right this injustice and go forward as a people in this state showing our commitment to justice everywhere across our great state and our great country. It's my pleasure to introduce my cohort, and that person is Representative Laura Hall. There is not a finer lady in the Alabama legislature than Representative Hall. So when Sheila Washington approached me, being from Decatur, I said, well, we're going to need a House sponsor. The gentleman from Jackson County were handling the resolution that Governor Bentley will sign. And I said, we need a House sponsor. And I said, I think that person needs to be Representative Laura Hall. She is certainly a class act. But also, in making this legislation possible, we did something that doesn't happen a lot in Montgomery, and it doesn't happen a lot in Washington. We were able to get unanimous consent in the House of Representatives, Republicans, Democrats, black legislators, white legislators, unanimous consent in the Alabama Senate, Republicans, Democrats, black, white, all coming together wanting to right the wrongs and injustices that were done so many years ago. So please join me in welcoming Representative Laura Hall from Huntsville.
Good morning. Good morning. You know, as I was sitting there thinking about 80 years ago, look around this room. Amen. Look at this room. We are a diverse community in this room. That would not have been 80 years ago. So give yourselves a hand. I am honored to have had the privilege of being an instrument to make sure that this bill was passed. I found it enlightening, heartwarming, as I talked to my colleagues and asked them to read the bill before I introduced it, and if they would sign on. And not one time did I get a negative response. When the bill was brought up for a vote, as Senator Orr has indicated, there was not one negative vote. As a child, I used to sing this song, if you're happy and you know it. I am certainly happy today that we have made an effort to correct a wrong that has occurred more than 80 years ago. And that those of us that are living in Alabama will continue to strive to make sure that Alabama is the beautiful Alabama that we sing about and that we use as our slogan. I find it encouraging and enlightening to have an opportunity not only to learn. I thought I knew some history. I was very limited in my history about the Scottsboro Boys. And I want to say a special thank you to Ms. Sheila Washington for making sure not only that the governor is here to sign this bill, but that Arthur Orr and I were actively involved in the bill.